Yo, what's up YouTube? My name is Joystick Overwatch. I have a brand new top 5 tips video for you today. I'm going to be talking about communication this time around. It's a little bit of a different video, but I wanted to help the people that really just feel a little bit lost in game. They don't really know what to say to their teammates. They want to work together as a team, and this is your best way to find out how to do that effectively. Number 1. So I want to talk about target prioritization today. So you want to be looking for like enemies that are out of position. You want to be looking for enemies that are like overextended, enemies on high ground, enemies that just burned cooldowns. These are things that you should communicate to your teammates mostly at all times. I mean, you don't have to be like saying like, oh, like this and this is happening, but like if you're able to say to your teammates, oh, like say like there's an enemy Widowmaker on high ground, watch out, or like someone's overextended, right? Like maybe like a Winston's diving in, already used his jump and he can't get out. Like that's something you can communicate to your team to get that free kill. Like a lot of games like are decided based off like communication, believe it or not, and I've won so many games based off like being able to make the correct call outs and telling my team exactly what they need to do. Not everyone's an in-game leader, I understand that, but like that's why this video is being made, because you know everyone can start to help and work as a team. Number 2, I want to talk about just teamwork in general. This is like the biggest tool of communication, is just the teamwork aspect of it. Being able to tell when your team should like move in, or like when your team should disengage, stuff like that. Sleeping targets, say if you're Ana, just hit a sleep dart, your whole team can start to focus fire that, right? Using like LOS is another thing you can tell your team. Like tell your team to LOS like the snipers, like if there's like Hanzo, Widow, high ground, or if like everyone's taking too much damage, you can start to play corners. So, and like that whole playing corners aspect is when you like post up against a wall and you literally just hug it, and that's part of like LOSing, which means line of sight essentially, if you didn't realize. So it's really just about like little things like that you can tell your teammates to actually like simplify the game of Overwatch and make your life a little bit easier as you're playing, because like not everyone is on the same page at all times. There's so many things going on in Overwatch, and just being able to communicate 1 or 2 things here and there just makes everyone's life a little more easier, right? I want to talk about number 3, which is comboing ultimates. This is a very, very essential thing in Overwatch. If you didn't know by now, comboing ultimates is huge. So using communication with comboing ultimates is really strong, because not only can you do like a countdown to like 3, 2, 1, I'm gonna use this ult with this ult, okay? Like Graviton Dragon, Nano Blade, EMP Shatter, using Pull from Orisa to use Sigma ults like Gravitic Flux, stuff like that. That's all comboing, and that's all begins with a little bit of communication, right? So you can get like the most effective ultimate off. You can make like a 2-man grab, a 4-person grab and eliminate the entire, get a big team kill based off the communication alone, right? So using like just simple tactics, simple communication will enable your game, I promise you. Number 4, I want to talk about low HP targets. This is a kind of like a section of the video where I want to talk about just like priority fire and like focus fire and stuff. So like say you like you're doing a lot of damage as your hero, and then all of a sudden you see someone that's 1 HP or like really low. So like that's stuff you want to like call out to your teammates. That's like, yo, like Genji's on high ground, 1 HP, like the Mercy's 1, like stuff like that. Obviously that can get like really messy as soon as like things get chaotic, but like being able to tell your teammates that someone's low so you guys can actually win the fight instead of like wasting time or wasting ultimates is so important. Like you literally can win fights based off that little communication, signaling your team that like, oh, someone is low HP, right? Always be looking for opportunities to help your team out. Like that's like the core of the game, is the teamwork aspect, and that's what makes Overwatch really fun, right? Lastly, I want to talk about number 5, which is having too much or too little communication. Obviously, I know people don't join voice, or people become like toxic when you start saying stuff, or like people are too afraid to start saying things in games. It happens. I've seen it all. Trust me. I've been playing ranked every season and I've seen it all. But the best games are when, you know, people are communicating, people are working together, and I know that you know that that's the truth, right? So sometimes there's too much communication where people are like saying like just random stuff, or people aren't even talking about the game. That can get annoying, and you know, that can get frustrating, but you got to work with what you got, and you got to work with the teammates that you got. So really, just like, if people are like saying too much stuff, sometimes it's better just to like start like backing away from the communication and just like start just listening instead, right? Just listening to what your teammates have to say. Maybe you have like an actual like someone on your team's actually doing a really good job at like in-game leading. Let them take the lead on, like, you know, callouts. You don't have to always be like the #1 focal point and the #1 person that's saying, oh, we should do this, we should do that, you know? Step aside a little bit, just listen to what your teammates have to say sometimes, right? And sometimes there's like no communication at all, and that's, you know, that's a time where you can step in and be like, hey guys, like, can someone call out a target? You know, like, who are we on? Like, even when like you die, right, you can still be like, yo, someone call a target, like, so we can focus, right? We can actually win this fight still, right? Because like some fights are still winnable even if you like die and your teammates are still there, like, and you're not actually like vocalizing anything. Be like, hey, someone call a target, like, someone's super low, like, yo, if everyone goes on them, we can actually win this fight still. Like, I've done that so many times where I'm like, I'm an in-game leader personally because I'm a main tank player. Naturally I have to kind of lead, but sometimes when you get eliminated from the fight, you don't have that chance to be like, oh, who's alive, and you don't really know, you can't really see. But like, if you tell your team, it's, hey, someone call a target, then people start to focus, and then your team starts to work together all of a sudden, right? And then you might be able to win the game. So always encourage your teammates to do better, you know, to be better, to communicate. It just helps the game a lot more, and it makes Overwatch a lot more smooth. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I know it's a little bit different, but you know, this has been a highly requested video. I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope if you guys could subscribe, comments, like. We're almost to 1,000 subs on YouTube. I appreciate all the support, and I'll see you in the next video.